More progressive left-wing union madness, this time being delivered by the Canadian Union of Postal Workers. You see, CUPW has aligned itself with its Palestinian counterpart, a group that not only delivers the mail, but apparently likes to support terrorism too. You know, you'd think the Canadian Union of Postal Workers, which is presumably trying to stay relevant in the sunset industry that is snail mail delivery, would have better things to do than reach out and pledge allegiance to a group that allegedly has links to terrorism. But a report in the Canadian Jewish News notes that in late May, CUPW revealed that it had launched a joint project with the Palestinian Postal Service Workers Union. This project is, quote, designed to strengthen the Palestinian Postal Union and build greater solidarity between our two unions, end quote. Really? To what end? And in this spirit of union solidarity, will CUPW be reaching out to the Israeli Postal Workers Union too? No. That solidarity forever thingy, that only goes so far. Besides, years ago, CUPW signed on to the boycott, divest, sanction movement against Israel. So clearly, not all postal unions are created equally. And make no mistake, folks, CUPW is going all in when it comes to its support of Palestinian causes, noting that Imad Tameza, president of the Palestinian Postal Workers Union, obtained a visa to visit Canada a few months ago. Tameza attended several labor-related events and met with pro-Palestinian groups in Montreal, Toronto, and Ottawa. One can only imagine the content of those discussions. But recently, B'nai B'rith Canada accused the Palestinian Postal Union of supporting terrorism and, quote, the elimination of Israel, end quote. B'nai B'rith cited the union's Facebook page, which it translated from Arabic into English, which glorified Palestinian terrorist Ahmad Nasser Jarrar. Jarrar, it should be noted, is a member of Hamas, which is banned in Canada as a terror organization. This individual went into hiding after Rabbi Razal Savach was murdered last January outside his West Bank settlement. Jarrar was later shot dead by Israeli forces. And check this out, B'nai B'rith notes that another recent post on the Palestinian Union's Facebook page called for the release of Faoud Shabaki. Shabaki was convicted in 2009 of attempting to smuggle weapons into the Gaza Strip for use by the Al-Aqsa Martyrs Brigade, which also happens to be a designated terrorist entity in Canada. Alon Katsakevich, an Israeli-born member of CUPW who lives in Winnipeg, told the Canadian Jewish News that upon discovering his union's ties to this and other Palestinian causes, he was shocked and surprised. He says he has encountered what he calls a total ignorance of Israel and began writing and calling union representatives, including the president. He's still waiting for a response. Yeah, I'm sure that letter's still in the mail. Meanwhile, Michael Mostian, CEO of B'nai B'rith Canada, notes that rather than using the union movement to build peace between Israel and the Palestinians, CUPW leadership has, quote, aligned itself with the path of violence and extremism. This is both deeply immoral and obviously not in the best interests of Canadian postal workers, end quote. Yet in the Department of sheer chutzpah, check this out. Merely for blowing the whistle on this unholy alliance, B'nai B'rith Canada's Toronto headquarters is being targeted for a protest next Wednesday afternoon. Here's what the protest organizers wrote on Facebook. Quote, recently, B'nai B'rith Canada launched a smear campaign against CUPW, which has taken a principled stand in defense of Palestinian human rights. As a result, CUPW has become the latest victim in a long list of smear campaigns launched by B'nai B'rith Canada to silence human rights defenders who are critical of Israel's violations of international law, end quote. Did you catch that, folks? A smear campaign? How does one smear murderers and terrorist organizations that remain banned in Canada, even under the Justin Trudeau regime? As for the protest, expect to see the usual idiots who show up to Toronto's annual Al-Quds Hate Fest. These are the people who tend to deny the Holocaust as they try to manufacture another one. Yet I wonder if the rank and file of the Canadian Union of Postal Workers will also be marching alongside these odious supporters of terrorism and terrorists. After all, you'd think CUPW workers would have better things to do, like making sure to deliver junk mail as opposed to supporting junk causes. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.